her head was down at the actual transponder station or wherever
Yeah.
she was sending the signal out.
Hmm.
But then they do get a signal. They do get something back from her, and they find out that later when they're actually kind of measuring things, they notice that she's not breathing. There's no breath along with it. It's just
Right.
kind
Thank
of
God they had the scientists here that would measure that kind of thing and have an ear for that.
yeah.
And thank God they had the father there that would know a little bit better about whether or not something is actually his daughter. Yeah. So that was interesting, though. So Mitsuki, she actually gave the aliens a tool to trick us, essentially, by sending all these video files.
And that's what they were afraid of.
Yeah.
That one guy she was with, it's like, are we now dead? You know what I mean? It's like his fear was, since she sent all that information, would that have been the downfall of the human race? Which, if very near was.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's kind of, it almost turned this typical plot device on its head. Any other show, where there have been a lot of other shows where it turns out the aliens are good and the nuke is like the last option, like an Avengers movie or something. Like, no, don't drop the nuke. Give me, 2 more minutes and I can save the day. Where the nuke is like, this. But here in this episode, this show is like, yeah, nuke the bastards.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing. Push Mitsuki out of the room and nuke the bastards.
Well, I mean, she's going on and she's upset, and then she barges in. We see a little bit of the U.S. general earlier,
Yeah.
but then she actually busts in a room where he's actually sitting, and we get a little bit of this scene here.
It's her.
You think that changes anything?
You will kill her.
My president is willing to sacrifice one life if it means saving billions. Are you? It's done. For what it's worth, I think you stalled them long enough for us to fight back.
Yeah, and this is something I've been saying the whole season with Mitsuki's storyline. I'm like, Mitsuki is incredibly brilliant. Like, she's brilliant. She's very capable, and her whole storyline this year has been, I know my girlfriend is up there and I need to save her.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, the entire planet around her, planet Earth, and all of its citizens are under duress and dying, and there's this big existential threat of this alien invasion, which it seems like she could care less about.
Yeah, no, and it was spot on, honestly. I mean, but I got to give Matsuki credit. She nodded along, saying one person's life was not worth millions of people's lives.
Right.
She kind of agreed with him. And then I also liked how the general actually gave her credit for stalling long enough to give them an actual fighting chance.
Yeah. We've got Madeline says right. Maybe she agrees with the Mitsuki storyline here. And then we've got Tara is joining us here this evening. Hello, Tara.
Yeah,
Nice
thanks for
of you to
coming.
join us.
Yeah, joining us. That's awesome.
Once again, you and the family, Anisha's kids and the family there, Sarah, that was incredible. We'll talk about them a little later in
Yeah,
this
we haven't
show,
quite
but
gotten to you guys yet, but yeah.
yeah, but that was some dramatic stuff too. That was crazy. But yeah, so this is kind of where we leave. And really the only other thing is that there was kind of this back and forth whether or not they were debating whether or not it was really Hinata on the other end.
Yeah.
And I'm still confused because it's like, she asked, if it's really you, what did you say, at her first date or whatnot? And that's when David Bowie's song started to play.
Yeah.
And that seems to me like, would aliens know to do that? Would aliens know, understand like a sentimental memory and be able to like, I don't know. This is where I'm kind of like,
Well, there were thousands of files sent and thousands of videos.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's within plausible belief
Right.
that somewhere in there was that connection to David Bowie outside of just the memory that she had with her in the flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Because even her dad said she loved David Bowie.
Yeah.
So I'll accept that, because I would think there's somewhere in their memory of the two of them, if somewhere there was more than just that one poster that was up.
Right. And that's why I'm still kind of like confused, or like maybe the aliens are that smart and that devious that they would use a sentimental memory
Well,
like a
there'd have been
David
no
Bowie
way for
song.
them to actually contact back. Even the general mentioned it, and part of the clip that we didn't play here,
Yeah,
but they were using. I'll use Transformers Bumblebee when he
right.
was talking back in
And radio
in radio.
songs.
So in
Yeah.
this here, when they seen that there was those memories of David Bowie, they just used a song. I don't know how they would get a hold of the song, but they've got a song to play in return, thinking hopefully that they'll get that reaction from her, saying that oh, she is there, she is alive. What she was hoping for.
So you're 100% sure that Hinata died basically on impact, and this is in no way her actual consciousness aboard the alien ship that's talking to them, right? So
Yes.
this is 100% the aliens being devious and trying to trick the people down here, Mitsuki, particularly.
Ye- Yeah, but I don't know how far tricking just Matsuki would really mean.